Okay, all you devils out there, happy Monday. Here we are. We're going to do a quick market overview here, kind of to set up the week for you. So I'm just going to look at four markets here, kind of a bigger picture kind of thing. Now, of course, I just did a very long deep dive into all of these. If you're interested in any of that, it's totally free to access, get it. And you just have to join our Discord, and I'm going to use that as a segue here to this little contest here. I won't spend more than a minute here. Just a reminder, we're down to 15 days left on this. A nice little prize package here. First prize being a 3-month educational membership, and then down here we go into the social memberships. And it's very, of course, email or Twitter, your Twitter handle can join. The app will kind of walk you through the process, and then to increase your odds of winning, simple tasks. Retweet a tweet from us, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. The big one that gets you the most points is to come on over to our website and you can just join the free Discord. Then you'll get access to all of the deep dives, right? So the deep dive I just did, we're going to go over here to sort of a bigger picture. Now, a couple of people have had issue saying, where's the Discord link? You just click here, that will take you to the website, and then you go through the process there. It'll drop you into the Discord. So literally it takes 30 seconds. Very easy to do, and you'll end up in the Discord, and then you'll have full access to all the deep dives over there. So just a reminder here, that's running. You got about 2 weeks left to go. Okay, let's go back to our market, or to our Bitcoin dominance here. So now this, I don't know you make a trading decision here, but it is technical, and you can look at it and say, all right, well, I can sure spot a 5 there, right? So trend would appear to be off of the low here. Trend looks higher. Now there is, you look here and you go, wonder why we stop here. So 73, or that seems to be some resistance. So you kind of look left, right, well, okay, well maybe. All right, so I'm just grabbing the last little pivot here right before we head down. I go right to that low. What do we get? All right, let's do the tick. Now, I know you can look at it and say, oh, it's just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. So let you draw your own conclusions. Again, you wouldn't make a trading decision off of that, but that is not insignificant. My view, there are 0 random pivots. They don't. Everything is tied to something. Okay, so there you go. There's that. Again, I don't know that you'd make a trading decision off of that, but that is just of note here. So now as we back off, and Bitcoin's a little soft today, well, we'll have to see here. And the symmetry is a little, it's not ideal. So I don't think the implication here is that Bitcoin D is going down to this low. It's just kind of showing you that everything's technical. All right, so with that, we'll push off of that, and let's go look. Oh, here I had come over here. So here's TOTAL2. Kind of the same thing, right? So just looking at it here. So what is this, right? It's kind of an, all of the alts kind of have the same structure here. Very few exceptions. So you look at this now. I've just drawn a regression channel on it. So I have a median and then two standard deviations on either side. Seems to be containing it rather nicely. Sure, we have these spikes. Yeah, same question. You look here and you go, all right, well, why does it stop there? Right? So is it the structure here? Is that what we bumped into? Is that structure? Well, this pivot sure is screaming at you. Well, you'd want to check that, right? Wouldn't that be the first thing you'd do? Lo and behold, we get right there. What do we get? Right to the golden zone. Again, right? You feel free to consider that a coincidence. I would differ with you there. Okay, so again, would you make a trading decision there? No, but you can certainly understand. Well, again, one, it's technical. You can understand why we run into some resistance there, and potentially is it now just setting up. If this is going to be interpreted as a 5, something like that along those lines for alts to really get rolling. I'm not saying that's what this is implying. It's just kind of an interesting overview of the market. So we'll see how alts are going to respond. Well, so we'll take it 1 week at a time. So just an observation here. Again, you couldn't trade off of that, but it's something to just keep an eye on. Now let's go over to the broader markets here. And we're just again trying to do this briefly. Here's the big question mark. Well, certainly across traditionals, where are we in this count? Well, you can interpret it a couple of different ways. So what I see here is now this is ABC, and we've gone ABC here. Now I've got a couple of things on this. Oh, so here, this count would be the bearish count. So just here, let's pull from this pivot down, right? So we've broken here. So you have to go all the way to the top, kind of in between. We didn't quite make this structure here, but there's this is the problem here is this can be interpreted a couple of different ways. So for the bearish side of it, here, let me, we're now coming up to that edge here. So that's just a shift pitchfork. Here, I'll just hide that. Let's hide that. Okay, so let me get this back here. So here's the negative. If this is, you can get this to complete here. So if this is from the, trading view. Come here. Okay, so if I can get from this low to this pivot, to that B low, right? We've yet to make the 100. Now look where the 100 is. If we're going to go up and get that, we're just in front of the golden zone. So that's, a point of interest. How about we say it that way? So if it's going to go up and do that, if we're going to do it via this trading view, I swear to God. Okay, come on. All right, so here we go. If this is an AB and we're going up here to get parity here, ABC into the right as we hit the golden zone, yeah, sure, we could get through it, but that would be literally a textbook ABC. Right now, pardon me. So here I've got both counts on here. So if it's going to be an ABC, well, I guess you could consider this. So the alternate here would be that this is 1, 2, and we'd have to do it 3, 4, 5, right? So the thinking being here, if I just bunch these up, that it's A has gone in via that 5. So maybe I'll do it this way. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puts in the A wave. This is the 3, and it's just, as of now, it's just a nice 5, 3, 5 zigzag. Comes between the 50 and the 618. Again, nothing says we can't kick higher and go get that, but the subdivision here, you can complete it up here. But if we go up to get something like that, heads up there, right? If nothing else, it's just you wouldn't want to be buying into that and not know that that's there, right? That would be, well, it would be more beneficial to you to be aware that that's there, right? So what I'm trying to do here is just say, hey, heads up, if we go up towards that, you can anticipate some resistance. How about we say it that way? So right now, so then if you go down to, oh shit, let's go to a 3 hour and say, okay, well, am I done here? Can I be done? Well, let's zoom in on that. The first 5 is here. I'll get this off here just because we declutter the chart a bit. So the first 5, 1, 2, 3, here. I know it gets a little sloppy in there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A, B, C. I got 5 into my B to give me an A, B, C here of this B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is clear as a bell. Now, again, we could certainly go higher. This could be just a 1, 2. So if the low is in, and the thinking being that it's just an A, B, C, or when we go out to the daily, this could be interpreted as a very large flat, or with an expanded B here. We'll look at that in a second. But if this is an A, B, C, well, of course, this could be A, B, and we're just putting in the 1 well, then we'd be changing the count. Then you'd be thinking 1, 2, and this is just the 1 of the 3 before we go much, much higher, and the low's in. I think it's way that's a lot of, well, okay, so that would be surprising, right? That this is, given what the Fed is throwing at it, and then you just factor in that, well, what do we all know? Don't fight the Fed. Yeah, I hear you on that, right? I understand. But until this starts to kick, right now, you've just got a perfect zigzag. So why would you put anything more onto it until we see something to support that thinking? So if this is going to be just a 1 and this is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're going back to challenge the all-time highs, well, you'd want to wait for the retrace here, right? That's what I would suggest. You wait for something to say it's a 2. So if you come down here in a nice 3, you're doing this into this pocket, well, then you could maybe make that case, and off we go. And then you'd not confirm. Well, so then you're breaking the golden zone from the top, and then it's game on. All right, and then low is in, the Fed wins the day, and however many gazillion dollars they're throwing to prop up the market, okay, they did it. Now, is that what's going to happen here? Well, of course, nobody knows. This is a massive experiment, the likes of which has never been conducted before. So how does anybody know? We can think. What do we know? Price is truth. Right now, I've just got a 5, a 3, and a 5. Why assume anything else until you get more information? Now, if this just, rips higher tomorrow, well, then we're back here rethinking all of that. This would be the big tell. We're going to break the sell side algo from the top. That would be significant. Until then, I think you got to be cautious about the fact that I've got a zigzag here that didn't make the 100. That would imply bearishness. So let's see, where do I have it here? Do I have it here? Shit, I had a, yeah, here, I think this is, I've got it here. Oh shit, I thought I did. Hang on. Maybe I thought I had it out here on a daily to show you that. Oh shit, I thought I did. Okay, so you'd have to treat it this way, right? So, and I've seen this count. I've got some of my members, some of my sensei. So the idea being that it could be a massive expanded B wave here, and then so as I'm interpreting this currently as a 5 down, you'd be thinking A, B, and you can read 5 into that coming down, lows in. That would be, well, again, it would be incredible that we would correct the longest bull market in history in, what did we top here? In 30 days, in a month? Do we even make a month? Is that exactly a month? February 14th to, what was our low here, to March 20th. Again, right, you throw, a few $1 trillion at it, right? You're getting into some real money there. Could it be? Shit, of course, anything's possible, but are we going to do this again, right? Just another V? That would be, I think the odds of that are, if we do that, again, right, don't fight the Fed, right? That's what, that is what the Fed is trying to accomplish right there, right? You draw your own conclusions as to what the motivation is into that, but that's what they're trying to do, right? Make it go right back up like nothing ever happened, right? Market carries on, another V recovery, right? That's one other thing here that one of our members spotted here that I'll just show you. It was kind of interesting. Let's go back to original. So from this kind of unusual setup here of these median lines, well, so from the top, we went through the 50, but look how nice the median lines here. We get this, cover this now right to the, sure, we've gone through it a bit, right? We've gone through the 50 a little bit, but if that's going to come back down, that would sort of set you up here. Now, as to whether or not that's the count, that's certainly unusual. Certainly unusual. How about we leave it at that? I think you need another pivot or two to get any conviction behind what's actually happening here. Okay, and then last but not least here, how am I doing on time? Shit, I'm trying to do it in 10. Okay, so the last one, this is a real challenge for me. I'm struggling with this one because of this. What do we do with that? What the hell is that? So, all right, so first note here, I've got the spot market. This is the CFD, so this is for an FX broker. So what did we correct there? Well, what's making this really tricky is that you've got a clear 5 that precedes it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, clear as a bell. Even the fifth here is the fifth of the fifth. So what did we correct here? Well, so at first glance here, at this distance, you're thinking, okay, so maybe that's something, maybe I'm going to get an expanded B, because it's not, the symmetry, the amount of time is so abrupt. Here, this is what's a real struggle for me. So we've looked at this a couple of ways. So one thought was that it was 1, 2. Well, then it would have to go from 1, 2 into yet another 1, 2. But if that would be 3, then this has to be 4, and we're going up again. So no matter how you count it, you've got the same problem, is that is not enough time. Now, again, could it just keep going? Sure. Now, we look at it, just in the same idea of why we'd be bullish of Bitcoin here. It's just a mass grab for dollars, Bitcoin, and gold with what the Fed's doing, right? I mean, again, God knows how many gazillions of dollars they're going to print, right? But that would be bullish of gold, bullish for gold, bullish for Bitcoin. And right now, it's just a grab for dollars, right, in the face of the uncertainty. Well, so if we try and put a count on that, if you're thinking well, here's what I think we may be stuck with here is this, and I'll show you why. And we've looked at this before. So you'd be dealing with this as a running flat. All right, so you'd have to think of it as 3. It's funky B, but you can dig a B out of that, and then you'd come down for the 5. So you'd have 3, 3, 5 running flat. And the reason I think that's a contender that has to be considered is because you get a perfect golden corner here. Well, pardon me. So here you get perfect golden zone. It's literally 65 to the tick, and then we've looked at this before that you have this set of median lines here. I get that. Go back to original, right? So we come right here. Now we've tagged it. Retraced, now we're back above it. So this is such a technical pivot but you'd have the same problem either way. So if you were thinking that it was 1, 2, 1, 2, well then 3 to 4, you got the same problem in that 4 relative to this. If it was 1, 2, it's not enough time. It's not enough time for the symmetry to work there. So what is that? Well, then you might think 1, 2 again. Could it be another 1, 2? That seems unlikely. We don't make the 50. We're not even close to that. I mean, look, here was the 1, 6, 1, 8. So it's 1, 2. Here, if I do it this way. So if this is the 1 and this is the 2 right here, well, here's your high probability zone. That's certainly something to take note of. That's why I'm inclined to put the 3 there. But then that makes that the 4 if we're going off to new highs here. Very unusual, which makes you reluctant, right? So for me, right, I'm a retracement trader. I wouldn't go near that. Not that it can't go higher. It's just, where's your stop? Right here, right? You're gonna use the last pivot here. You're just trading your wallet. You're not trading the market. Really, your stop would have to be down here. Way, way, way too big. So for me, I have to wait, again, per my trading rules, I have to wait for a retrace. I never buy a breakout, ever. Why? Because I've tried to be a breakout trader before. For years. Over time, it's problematic. How would I say it that way? All right, so but I have to wait for a retrace on that. Now, so here was the retrace, but holy shit, came and went in a hurry. Talk about a V, right? That's an unbelievable V, right? That was a massive sell-off. Massive. Are we gonna be done here? I mean, how long did this take? That's from summer of 18, and we're gonna put that in March of 20. So we're gonna almost 2 years. We're gonna correct in like 12 days. Again, anything's possible. I just think you have to be very cautious in here because this is a wild card. Now, granted, right? That's the employment report and the Fed doing what they're doing, distorting the markets, right? We have nothing resembling anything other than central bank controlled markets. So maybe that's just the new reality we have to deal with, is that V bottoms are just the new reality, whether it's the S&P or gold. Over time, I would be cautious here. If we're going to go up and do that and we're going to complete, well, then what did we just complete? Are we completing the 5 here off of this 1, 2? This 2 took 3 years? 16, 2.5 years. We're correcting that 2 in 12 days. I know. You look at it and you go, it's going straight up. Why wouldn't you buy it? It's going straight up. Well, again, it's just a lot of years of doing this. Very, very suspect of that. But you take it down to an hour, it looks like a 5. It looks like, well, so you got to deal with this, right? You already got the problem of here, so you'd have to go 1 A, B, C into the 2. That's the 3, the 4, and the 5. It looks like are we completing the 5th here relative to this 3? Same problem. So then it looks like maybe that's just the 1, 2, and we're going to go off much longer, but then you're back to stuck with this as your 4. Just doesn't look right. Doesn't mean it's not going to be how it ends up resolving. I just would be very cautious about buying up here because of that. But that's just me. All right, shit, too long. God darn it, it's hard to do these. I have to talk to my guys. I don't think this is doable in this format where I'm doing so much. But there you go. All right, so there, have at it. At least you got a few things to chew on. A reminder here that we've got that. And one more pivot. Give me another pivot. I'll have some more confidence there. Okay, guys, there you go.